Hi, and welcome to the Beardy Kickstarter Show. I'm Belgrath97, and this is...
The best beard on TV. Second class elitist.
He's not biased or anything.
No.
Behind the camera is...
Hey, Ivan apparently thinks it's the best beard on TV because he
wanted to do
a show called the Beardy Kickstarter Show.
Yes, the Beardy Kickstarter Show. Thank you, Ivan, for the suggestion. We love it. We thought it was hilarious. We were thinking we're going to make this a thing. You put a comment of what you want the show to be called, we'll call it that for that. It's got to be PG, guys.
Well, you know, we'll choose out of the list.
Yeah,
so
but
we'll see what we get.
We'll see what we get. But the more interesting the idea, the more likely you are to get mentioned on the screen. Behind the camera is...
I think we should send Ivan some free stuff.
Okay.
Check your mailbox. You will have air coming.
Yes! Free air just for you, Ivan.
Yeah. All right.
Wait. It's on its way. All right.
Air from my lips.
Yes, air from my life. One of the most personal gifts ever.
That's true.
And if any one of you get that reference, thank you. Okay.
And it had about the same amount of paint on it as your models, so it all works.
Oh. Shush. All right. I'm just going to have to go find a painted model just to prove I have one.
Notice he said he'll have to find.
All right, fine. You really want to go there?
No, I want to do this.
I was going to say, it's right in the cabinet there. All right.
It's, as in the one.
Well, I know there's one in the cabinet. There's probably more than one in the cabinet. Anyway, welcome to the Kickstarter Show. Woohoo! All right, so we have about 10 different Kickstarters to talk about. So
some of these we're going to hit real quick, though, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not going to be terribly long.
This is the time of year where everybody's launching a Kickstarter.
That is the truth.
So
it's the time to do it. Some of these we're going to talk about because we just think they're awesome. Some of them we're going to talk about because everyone should do a Kickstarter like this. Yeah. More or less.
That's probably going to be our longest story.
That is probably.
This is the right way to do it.
Yes. And some of them are just updates, and some of them are ones that we missed last week.
Yep.
And a couple new upcoming ones to keep your eye out for.
Yep.
So I'm going to hold off on the suspense. We're going to get that one probably the last of this group, I think.
Okay. We're
going to start with Parallax. Parallax is 23 days away.
Yep.
From being done. It's
been up for 3 days.
It's been up for 3 days. It has gotten $6,700, which makes it about 70% funded. It's got to get to $9,000. Oh, and some guy named Tom Haswell is writing a Choose Your Own Adventure for it. I don't know anything about that guy.
I don't know. But Gab Thorpe is also writing a short story for it. And
yes.
That's a reason to back it.
That is a reason to back it. Honestly, a reason to back it is go look at those models. They're gorgeous.
Yep. Another reason to back it, your choice of 2 different scales, 28mm or Super Heroic, 38mm.
Super Heroic, is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
32 Heroic. No. 32 Heroic. Which, actually, as a group, I just want to say, we've decided to back the champion level.
Yeah. Not where I thought we were going to go.
No, neither did I.
Allie made a couple good arguments about why we should go with the bigger models, so we're like, F it, let's go.
And we actually did a quick count, and it's like 30 to 22. 30 people backing 28mm pledges, and 22 backing 35mm pledges, excuse me.
Other thing to keep in mind, and this was one of our major argument points, all of the figures will be available in the 35. Some of them they could not re-render back to 28. So if there's a model that you really, really want, do yourself a favor, check to see what scale it's in, if not both, just ahead of time. That's just an FYI on this.
Was it like 4 that didn't make it to the list?
Yeah.
I think there's 4 that didn't make it to the list. But Parallax, go look at it. They're awesome models. He did there's a couple quick updates about rules on there. It seems like a very interesting game.
Oh, the rules are solid.
Yeah, the rules are solid.
I really like the game mechanics.
And it's not the first...
I've done some of the play testing for it. I really like the game mechanics.
I will say there's a couple interesting points about it, just to quickly touch on it, was every model can be its own customized character.
Yeah. In fact, every model in the game should be.
Right.
You can either use some preset generic ones,
right,
or literally build your own warband.
Which it's cool.
It's
customized level.
We went from army and squad-based games to skirmish-based games,
and now we're down to
almost
adventure party games.
I like adventure party. Yeah, that works. Like this to me is almost like the second coming of Inquisitor. Like, bigger scale, customizable. You're only playing a couple models. Yeah, you're done. A 10 level band that could be as little as 4 models.
Yeah. So.
And would cap at 10.
Obviously. And would cap at 10, right. So, go look at that. They're awesome models. Go back it. Okay. Next, let's talk about one we missed last week, and it had launched by that point, but we missed it. The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, The Walking Dead. Has that covered yet? I'm not sure if that's made enough money to
I was actually
clear
looking at it. It's going to be tight. I mean, they're only $273,000 of their $50,000 goal.
Okay.
So I'm not sure that they're going to cover.
So there's a chance that this might need some help.
It might need some help, guys.
Yeah.
If you don't know, this is from Mantic, and they are basically doing Walking Dead, but we've pretty much discovered it's the comic book universe, not the TV universe.
Correct.
So the characters...
I'm upset. There's no Daryl.
There is no Daryl.
Yes. By the way, for those of you that don't know the comic book versus the TV show, that's pretty much what that means. There's 2 or 3 characters that appear in one and not the other.
There's also characters that were nixed off on the TV show and still exist in the comic book.
Exactly.
So there's been a couple character changes throughout the show. It has already unlocked its first expansion, the Atlanta crew, and they put a link up there in their last update that I saw. There might be a new one by the time this makes the TV to your screen. I mean, but the playtest rules are up for free download, so you can go look at the rules, see if it's something you're interested in looking at. We did look at it.
Yep.
And
this is what happens when you take 3 years to play test a game.
We've been playtesting this game and designing a game for about 3 years that we thought was going to be unique and interesting when it made it to the market. It had a mechanic no one else had done before, and Mantic just stole it.
So we're saying that this game has some good mechanics in it because it's well designed.
Right. But it has this idea of the zombies are just kind of mobile terrain that move based on noise.
Yep.
Like a zombie horror show, movie, TV show thing would do.
And it allows these zombies to be a automated AI in a war game so that you can play them, not need someone to play the faction of the zombies.
Of the zombies, which are kind of brainless.
Right.
So it's an interesting mechanic. We thought 3 years ago when we came up with it that we loved it. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very solid game. Right now, though, it is still a board game.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's humans and humans.
And only 2 groups of humans.
And only 2 groups of humans, Atlanta and the core group. The last unlock that I saw unlocked was Michonne, for those of you who like the character Michonne. But it's, it's going to do stuff. And it's going to be awesome.
It's selling well.
I will say, though, I did read a comment in our last week show about, I think we mentioned it, but we didn't really get into it. Someone said that they thought it was a money grab, that it wasn't worth backing, which is interesting.
The only reason why I'm going to say it isn't an obvious money grab is...
They paid a lot for that license.
They would have paid a lot for it, and they designed a new mechanic for it.
Yeah.
It's not just Mars Attacks, the Zombie Edition.
Right.
That would have been an obvious money grab.
Yeah.
This is Mars Attacks plus the Zombie Edition. So...
But they did spend a lot for a license that they didn't have to do.
Right.
Because plenty of people have been putting out zombie games without it.
Yep.
And, like you said, a new mechanic. So I think I agree. I don't think it's necessarily a money grab. All right.
I'm not going to say they don't need a money grab. I think they're still in that boat of needing...
they need Kickstarters to keep funding what they're doing.
Yeah, I think they're
Did
still...
I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think there's... Not to say that they're Ponzi scheming, but I think they're still in a pay-it-backwards mode. Not as bad, but I think they're still a little bit there.
Speaking of in a business sense, my father used to call it, when we would do things like this, mortgaging your future for your now.
Yes.
I think they're still in that.
Yeah.
I think they're still...
I agree.
Paying off debts. All right. Next up, Polyversal.
Polyversal.
All right. So I think they started with a 60-day Kickstarter, right?
Yep.
So they are 45 days to go still. So they're a quarter of the way in, and they are quarter funded. Yep. So at this pace, they'll fund.
But this is a dangerous pace because they're about to hit the slump.
Yeah.
By the way, they watch us and comment, so thank you very much, guys.
Yes, thank you very much.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
I gotta tell you, there was for those of you who don't know, I was just recently at the LVO, Las Vegas Open, and a couple people, this game came up in conversation, in a couple of different conversations that I had, and I would say, just like the Kickstarter is kind of getting there but not moving terribly fast, everyone's kind of not sure about this game.
Yeah.
A couple people said that they didn't like that it didn't have models, and that was one of the reasons they weren't going to get into it. A couple people said that they didn't think that the models that were chosen were the right models.
Yep.
But one of the things that we mentioned even last week was, hey guys, choose whatever you want.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, they're suggestions. I think it's worth backing, like we've mentioned a number of times. If you have anything that's in the right scale, back it.
Yep.
It's a free set of rules to play with your stuff.
I also want to see. Remember how I was saying before that one of the things that really drew me to this game was the original artwork that they were
Yes.
in, which was all being done by Mr. England,
Right.
who just passed away.
Right.
So I'm waiting to see.
Right.
Not that you ever want the people that are supporting your game and helping to make your vision occur die.
Right.
I'm not saying that's what anybody wanted, especially a giant in the industry.
No.
But I want to see if this week, next week, there's some memoriam pledges that go in.
Yeah, okay.
People trying to fund England's last vision.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
that might help them stay on track through this long. That's all I'm saying.
And they posted. I know they posted something yesterday when it happened.
Right.
So I mean, it's probably a rough time for them. You know, they've got a Kickstarter that's kind of just chugging along, and
you got to take care of the business of the day, but at the same time, you literally just lost a friend and colleague who've been in this industry for decades.
So, my thoughts
it's
and prayers for
a lot
them.
of people. Yeah.
But I think that I hope this makes it, because I like the vision of it.
Yes.
I wish there were models like most people, I think, that are not backing it, who liked what they saw. I wish there were models. That's it. That's all I've got to say.
Yep.
All right, Age of Tyrants, which is the other 6mm Kickstarter that's out there.
Yep.
Oh, they funded. They have 7 days to go. They've already unlocked 5 stretch goals.
Yep. Including an extra faction that wasn't in the originals.
Now, I will say this, and again, they posted something memorial to Mr. England, and I don't know exactly when the stretch goals all unlocked. They could have literally all unlocked in the last 12 hours, and I missed it because I was away. They have 5 stretch goals unlocked, and they've yet to reveal any of the imagery for it.
Yeah.
They all still say locked on their page. As of filming, they all still said locked.
Oh, so they're not updating their front page.
Yeah. Then I checked. There was no update about it. The last update was about Mr. England, which maybe that's why. I don't know. But something to keep in mind. I mean, you've got 7 days to go. You've unlocked 5 stretch goals, and no one knows what you've just unlocked.
Yeah. Gentlemen, please.
Please. I mean, if you watch this, please.
It's only gonna help you sell more. If you show that those are unlocked, it adds value to the Kickstarter.
Absolutely, because there's like a couple of them for different factions, and I'm looking at them going, that sounds awesome. I wish I knew what it looked like.
Yep.
So.
Or that sounds awesome, but I'm just skimming, so I don't think this is unlocked yet, so I don't back for it.
That's true. Yeah, I had to literally check a couple times to find out what level are we at here. Yep. So
I hate it. That is a pet peeve of mine.
Right. So hopefully they'll fix that by the time this actually airs. All right, SuperChibi.
Yay!
Yay! SuperChibi.
SuperChibi, SuperChibi.
I'm sorry. And then Heroes.
MidKnight Heroes.
Oh,
yes.
I missed what he said. I apologize. She was, singing back there or something.
Yeah.
So SuperChibi is 20 backers away from their stretch goal, and you know how we know
Second
that?
stretch goal.
Second stretch goal from their second stretch goal, and we know it's exactly 20 backers because there's only one pledge level really.
Yep.
There's 2 people who pledged something other than that, and we think they clicked the wrong button.
They pledged $1 so they could watch the campaign and
see
keep
when it gets
updated on when stuff goes up.
Yep. So you're literally at that point will be 4 models for $30, which is not a bad price point.
$7.50 a pop.
Right, and we figured that was 47 more after that.
Right.
Would unlock the next one, which is still doable in the time frame we've got.
Which then puts it at $6 a pop.
And $6 a pop, that's a really good value.
Yeah.
Which I think once it hits that, if it hits that $6 a pop and there's still enough time to do it, I think you'll get a huge surge of people doing it for value.
And also, even if you're not a fan of Chibi, specifically, Token Gamer Chick, when we were getting ready to film this, came up with a brilliant reason why Chibi is the perfect environment for a 2D side-scroller classic game kind of miniatures game.
Absolutely.
Well, if you remember back to the classic days of the 80s and 8-bit things, absolutely everything was animated in a chibi style. Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda, all of the original 8-bit games, if you look at those figures and look at the proportions that they were animated in, chibi.
Yeah.
If you look at
they were all big heads, so you can see the details.
Yep.
If you look at today's animation, that style has pertained through. If you what's the newest thing out for the Ambio little figurines that you have to collect now?
Yeah, that's true. They're all chibi,
all of those things. Now, not all of them. Like Zelda has grown up into the figures have grown up into a full body. Link and Zelda both. Princess Peach has grown up into have actual humanoid proportions. However, Mario, Luigi, they all still have their classic.
That's a little too iconic to change, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have, giant-headed
Absolutely.
plumbers going off to save the day. So,
who
little
doesn't
pieces
want
of our
giant-headed
childhood
plumbers?
that I think is really part of the ingrained psyche of why chibi is popular.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So again, you
Yeah.
know, another good reason to jump on this one because it fits the imagery for the era they're trying to portray.
Absolutely. So, it's it's fun to, at this point, we're just figuring out how many miles are we getting.
Yep.
And I'm
It's not
excited.
even a question of if.
Yep.
It's not even a question of when. It's a question of how many.
Yep.
The more people get in, the how many goes up.
Yep. And I know that you had mentioned that people hate that some people haven't liked that idea of it, but I love it. Because I just keep looking at how many miles am I getting today? How many miles am I getting today?
Well, it's the same thing that made, Bones and Kingdom Death
Yeah.
such a great idea. It
Absolutely.
was come in for a pledge, and the more people go in for that pledge, the more we can add to it.
Absolutely.
It's not like it's rocket science. It ain't a new thing.
Nope. All right, so all right, so there's another, and I'm gonna use the same phrase, adventure party skirmish game that
Yep.
that is just to market. Literally just hit Kickstarter within the last few days.
Yeah, it was while you were at LVO. I saw it.
Gotcha.
First.
Okay. It's called RelicBlade.
Yep.
And same idea of very customizable. Each person matters. Now they are pre-designed characters, so like you get the knight or the druid, but then you can customize them based on different card things.
Yeah, there's card boosts you can do.
And it's there's two really good videos on how the game works. One is a basic mechanics of action points and things like that, and one is actually the designer of the game and his best friend before he went away for months playing the game. I mean, and it's about a half-hour long battle report. They say the average game should take about 45 minutes, so it's a game that should be fast-paced and moving along. And literally, the game is the guy who's got the adventure party has 3 models, and the guy who has the pigs has like 5.
Yeah.
And it's played on a 2x2. It's a very small, skirmish adventure party game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice one. If you want the bare bones for it, I think it was $25, gets you 1 hero, 2 pigs, and a PDF of the rules and the PDF file of all the cards.
I believe it was
And
1
you're in.
hero or 2 pigs.
No, because I think it was enough to play.
Oh, was it enough to play? Okay.
I believe it was 3 models, 1 hero, 2
I
pigs.
apologize.
But the literally they say the sweet spot on this one
It's $100.
$100.
Get you all the models, including all the unlocks, and it gets you the rules in a PDF and printed, and yeah.
And again, if you're starting a Kickstarter or you're thinking about starting a Kickstarter, visit this page.
Remember at the beginning of this video when we mentioned there was going to be a Kickstarter that we were going to talk about that was an example of a great way to do a Kickstarter? This is it.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple graphics, great videos to show you the game, the sweet spot right there, like
Middle of the page.
middle of the page. Hey, by the way, this is our best value pick right
I'm not
here.
done scrolling past the different pledge levels yet, and you're saying preferred pledge. Boom.
Right. It was
All
brilliant.
right.
It was
Great.
brilliant.
Now I know where to stop.
It was a great layout. This guy. Now I found out this guy actually does visual design.
Yes.
Which makes sense for him to have a brilliantly designed page.
Yeah.
It's just it's his first Kickstarter, and he is $8,200 of a $1,200 goal. I think it's supposed to be $12,000 goal.
Yes. 'Cause
Sorry,
he's not there yet.
He's not there yet. He's roughly 40. Was that 60% funded, so about 40% away.
Again, in less than a week.
In less than a week, yeah. I think this one will fund. I don't think it'll be a problem.
I gotta say, I like the Pigmen too. Like,
Yep, they're
like
unique.
I honestly want to go in and see if there's just a pledge for get all of our pigs because
Yes, there is.
I like
You can choose to get either all the adventures or all the pigs.
because they remind me of the old original boxed edition D&D snout-faced orcs.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I got you.
Like these are like I'm remembering a picture of a snout-faced orc with like 1 tusk and the chain coif, like right in the
That's
old
it.
red book.
Yeah.
And this is what these
That's
guys
what they
are.
would look like. Yeah.
So-
No, I think you're absolutely right. I gotta tell you, I'm very interested in it, and I'm gonna be talking to our club about whether we want to jump in on this or not.
Okay.
I'm not saying that we definitely would be because we have 15 other games. However, I think it's unique enough and it looks interesting enough.
But again, as a club, arguably, with the amount of models we have, the $25 pledge gets us what we need to all play, or a single group $100 pledge to get or whatever the first pledge that the actual printed rulebook is.
Okay. Yeah. Now, I'm going to point out something that you like to point out all the time. Right now it's a board game.
Yep.
You've got pigs and adventurers. We do know, because if you...
Pigs and Long Pig.
If you read through it, it does talk about how there are other factions. And in fact, one of the unlocks, if they get there, will be a third faction. So there is more to it than just this.
So it may one day become an enhanced board game.
Yes, board game with options. But I believe his ultimate goal is for it to not be a board game.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I think people keep making this mistake. This is probably the only thing I would say RelicBlade did wrong, is they didn't give us all the options available. Now, it might be a thing that he couldn't. You know, I mean, he is a one-man shop. Maybe he couldn't get everything he needed done.
Doesn't have all the sculpts yet.
Right.
Doesn't want to release a faction just based on art without having sculpts.
Yeah,
I get it.
So, you know, and yeah, because that's the other thing. Everything that is on the page is sculpted already. He's already got the models. It's just about he needs the money to produce.
Yeah.
So
he's already done all the outlay work for the mastering and mold making.
Yep. I actually hope it funds, and for no other reason than if it only funds and gets that thief model, I might just buy the thief model.
Right.
The first unlock, that thief model.
I told you.
That's it's gorgeous. I'm looking forward to that. So RelicBlade, go look at it. It's another adventure party game. I'm coining that phrase right now. It's an adventure party. Right there. Trademarked. It's on video. Proof that I did it. All right. So I do have 2 other Kickstarters we're going to talk about. One of which is a terrain one. Yay, terrain! There's a company out there called Black Maria Designs. They make MDF terrain. They are currently producing I'm just going to call it. It's a Malifaux terrain set. It can work for steampunk. It can work for western. It can work for horror. Hey, guess what? That's Malifaux.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but it can work if you're playing any of those games separate.
I don't know.
From
Does
Malifaux.
it have a specific scale, or does it, or does it wonky widely in scale?
All right, it does not.
It's Malifaux.
It does not wonky wildly in scale.
Okay.
So all right. Well, it's not that I could tell from the pictures.
Okay.
But
well, let's hope it doesn't.
Yes, let's hope it doesn't. I think Cthulhu has arrived. I'm not sure. All right, I'm gonna keep going just in case. All right. So these guys, they're doing a Kickstarter to increase their production facilities. Basically, for the last year, they've been making terrain for their own club, and that's about it. They bought a laser cutter to make terrain for their own club. I will give them mad props for that.
Yep. I just want to go hang out at their club.
I know, right?
We don't even have a laser cutter.
I know, right? Like that's next on our list, I think. Now, because we're being one-upped.
No, it's okay. No, I already trumped that. It's just not here yet because
we have a 3D.
We have 2
3D printers coming. That's right. However, they actually designed a table for the Nova Open in 2015, which we were there, and we didn't play this game, so I don't think we saw the table, which is a shame. But they actually won Best Infinity Table with their terrains that they designed with their laser cutter. So I would say it's got to be at least good quality stuff because it beat out other people's designs for tables. Personally, looking at it, it is not the most advanced designs. They are a little bit boxy.
Okay.
They work fine for what they are, and price pointed wise, they're not bad for what they are. I mean, you can get a building for roughly $28.
Okay.
That's not terribly expensive, and I think it's reasonable for what you're getting.
That's on the mark.
Yeah, I think
it's,
yeah. Now they've designed their Kickstarter with like a token-based system. We were talking about this, and not Token Gamer Chick, but token-based.
Somebody needs to launch a Kickstarter with a Token Gamer Chick-based system.
I agree. But basically, you pledge in at a level, and you get a certain number of tokens that you can then spend on the different things that are optioned out. They call them options. So, like they have a couple of different scatter terrain ideas, and they're one option each. But you can literally go all the way up to buying the town.
Right.
And if you do the town pledge, which I thought was kind of cool, they will actually contact you, and you will be able to get them to put in the names on the buildings you want. Nice. And artwork.
Custom buildings. That's awesome.
Yes. If you buy in for it, I own the town. Literally, that's the name of the pledge. I own the town. So you get. I just thought it was kind of cool. And it was. It was not ridiculously expensive to do that. It was like $200, maybe $300. Like it was reasonable. I looked at it and went, For a club to buy in, it's not a big deal.
Right.
It's not
Or a
big
store.
deal. Or a store to buy in, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And then you can like name the saloon, Tim's Saloon if you're Tim's Gaming or whatever.
Right.
Um,
No, that's solid.
that
That was smart.
They also went with every pledge level tells you when it will ship based on other pledge levels. So literally, like if you pledge in at the cheapest pledge level, it literally says yours will ship last. So you know what you're getting right ahead of time. And if you pledge ahead, you get the larger your pledge, the priority on the shipping.
Yep.
Which I think was kind of
solid.
and I'm okay with that. Like they're just laying. They didn't say we'll ship everything at the same time because they knew that wasn't feasible for them.
Right.
So they literally said, buy these. We'll make sure this goes out before anything else.
Yep.
You pay for his hands.
Another reason to
buy.
go up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Get your stuff faster.
Yep. And they didn't do an early bird because of that, which I thought it's fine.
No, they did an early bird. It's just a big bird.
It's just a big bird. They did big bird pledging. Yeah. We're coining that one too, by the way.
Like that.
Yep. All right, and then this one I'm going to let you talk about. It's a
Okay.
Kickstarter
Yes.
that really you've wanted to mention about.
This has no right being on our show because it has nothing to do with miniature wargames.
Yes.
But for those of you who have watched our show regularly, you've heard me talk a couple times about guys in the RPG industry that helped to shape my writing style and my gaming direction.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those guys was John Wick, and he had a lot of really great ideas, really original games way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
He has re-released one of those now as a game called Seventh Sea, which is a swashbuckling era RPG. Really good, really classic, had a tremendous following when the game was out, and I know because that's when I had a store and I literally couldn't keep it in stock.
Mm-hmm.
So he announced this was coming a couple weeks ago. People have been following it, people have been hyped about it, and he put up the Kickstarter, I think now 2 days ago.
And it is currently 13,000% funded.
Yes. So
100% fun.
13. Okay, I can't read zeros. 1,300. She's right. Not that's the thing. But 1,300.
Yeah.
I just can't read zeros.
1,300%
He's
funded.
$1 million plan, not $1 billion plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he literally he's got like 12 unlocks already. Like
Didn't expect we get this far.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, nobody expected we get this far. He went to bed and woke up the next day and $250,000.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Wick, congratulations. This is well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you're getting your due. I'm glad that the RPG industry has not forgotten you because you did a lot for this industry. I'm looking forward to seeing you continue to do a lot for this industry, especially now that you have $250,000 to do more in this industry. So, well done, sir. I'm looking forward to playing in 7th Sea again, and just please keep doing what you're doing because it's good to see that in an age where there are so many manufacturers and so many creators in RPG, in miniature wargaming, and everything. It's good to see somebody who is deserving of praise for doing it in an era when it was a lot harder to get to publication.
Yeah.
Being able to come back and still be remembered. So,
Absolutely.
good job, sir.
Yes. All right. And now on to things to look forward to in the future.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
No rant this week.
No rant this
Yay!
week. Yay! No one did anything that pissed me off this week.
Nobody has rolled nothing but ones. I'm
All right,
so happy.
You know, I will say this. It's not true that no one has done anything to piss me off this week. It's just no one's done anything in Kickstarter to piss me off this week.
There we go.
Tune in on Sunday. There will be a rant.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. All right. And anyone who really knows me know what that rant will be about.
Rant coming soon.
Rant coming soon to a theater near you.
I had mentioned this on our Sunday show when Ali Alcatraz went off on a rant. Like, we had actually been like 3 for 3.
3 for 3 shows
I'm
with a rant.
glad that we're not having a rant this week.
I'm glad we're not.
Because I don't want us to be known as that
Okay.
angry show.
That angry show.
So
Maybe that'll be the name of the show next week.
It might be.
Who
We'll have to see
knows?
what
We'll see.
somebody puts.
Yeah. All right, so there are 2 Kickstarters that we are interested in and think you should be interested in that are coming up. The first of which is going to be Dwarven Forge.
Woohoo!
Yay! They're going to have another
Dwarven Forge.
Dwarven Forge.
This stuff here that that Bill Graff 97 is not going to throw this week.
Yes, I'm not no throwing of it because did I get man. All right, anywho, March 4th they are going to launch Dwarven Forge 4.
Yep.
The only thing we know about it is rounded towers.
Yes.
That's it. That's all the information they've given us. It's rounded towers. We generally believe it might be more geared towards above ground stuff.
I think it's going to be a beveled edge edition that's going to add to a lot of the stuff that they had from their Town Kickstarter, which was the third one.
Right.
So they may be fully above ground now, which is reasonable. I mean, between the dungeon setting and the cavern setting and the sewers, there's not a lot of medieval options left underground unless they wanted to do some like all skull cairn wall kind of stuff, which could be coming. Yeah.
A crypt and tomb, that would work for underground.
Yeah.
That would work. Okay. So there you go. We'll see what happens. And then,
But yeah, save your money for that one. And by
It's
your
worth
money,
it.
I mean I need to go put money aside.
kidneys. Go find kidneys, and not mine. Mine don't work.
It's true. I wouldn't get a good return on yours.
You would not get a good return on mine.
I'd like four sticks of bubblegum.
Pretty much. That you think you get 4? I'm not sure.
I'm a good salesman. I can get 4.
The other Kickstarter that we're looking forward to is another company that we absolutely love, Impudent Mortal.
Yes.
Impudent Mortal.
Impudent Mortal.
I can't talk today. They're going to come out with a clear acrylic grid that you can put on top of any map for any type of gaming where grids are important. And first thing we think of is, you think, well, RPGs, some of them use gridded tables. And there are a couple games out there that use gridded tables, but the one that we thought of first was Dead Zone.
Dead Zone, yeah.
Dead Zone does 3x3 grids. Now, granted, these will be 1x1s, but guess what? Every 3 of those is a 3x3 grid.
Right. And to be fair, we've seen a picture of a 1x1.
He might do a 3x3.
We don't know that there's not a 3x3 option or any other sizes. Or even hexes for you
Battletech.
for you Battletechy guys.
Absolutely. But it lets you take any type of those gaming mats that are available anywhere
Yep.
and put one of those on top of it, and now you can use any gaming mat you want for games that require grids.
It also, in my opinion, makes the cardboard mats a lot more viable.
Right, because now you've got something to protect the cardboard.
Exactly.
That makes sense. It looks like, based on just a quick glance, they're about 10 by 10 plates that have tabs on the east and west side and holes on the north and
Well, it would be a tab on the north and east side,
northeast
and then the slots on the south and west.
So that's just looking at the picture, us guessing.
Right.
We could be wrong. However, that will be launching on February 15th, so it's coming very soon. And I think that's everything we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all we got for this week.
All right. So thank you for watching the Beardy Kickstarter Show. Thank you again, Ivan. We look forward to the suggestions we get from our audience for next week. Again,
we nervously look forward to the suggestions because we got some crazy people.
we do have some crazy people. Again, if it's not PG-13, it ain't getting said.
I also want to put out there,
Fair warning.
Zipperich had told me that he had posted a name suggestion, but I didn't see it. So
possibly paste it to Facebook.
he might have posted it on our Facebook.
If you
page
want it
instead.
to be in there, it's got to be in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
And I know that sucks because you have to have a Google Plus account to post YouTube comments anymore, but I don't care.
If you have a Gmail email
should get a
address,
Google Plus.
if you have a Gmail email address, or if you sign up for YouTube registry now, you get a Google Plus account.
But
Or if you say nice things about Google,
yeah, I say
they're really trying to keep Google Plus alive, no matter how much people don't want it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a completely different story. But yes, if you want your name said, it has to be in the YouTube comments.
YouTube comments.
YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. I'm Belgrath97. To my right is...
Second class elitist
Behind
and
the
his
cam-
beard.
Really? He gets his own billing? The beard gets its own billing?
This beard, yes.
Oh, okay. Behind the camera is...
Token gamer chick.
Who does not have a beard, just for clarification.
Oh, we haven't seen her on camera in a while, you're sure?
I'm looking.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, you could be saying that. They don't know. I just said that they...
I'm trustworthy.
You're trustworthy? I don't know, you got that beard. I don't trust that beard. It's like going to eat somebody.
You're just jealous of the beard.
I am jealous of the beard. Moving on. Thank you very much for watching the Beardy Kickstarter Show. I almost called it the wrong name. If you liked what you saw here, please link, comment, share, tell people, smoke signal, something. I don't care. Let people know that we are here, and we will see you again next week. Until next time.